Hi everyone, my name is Ryan.
And my name's Travis.
And welcome to our Wisdom Adventure.
Thanks for joining us today where we try and find interesting and relevant topics and grow in our understanding of them.
Today we're going to be talking about 5 specific books that have helped us grow, and we really encourage you to read them, and we just want to share with you the main points of all those books.
The first book on our list is When: The Scientific Secrets of Perfect Timing by Daniel Pink. It's about how timing is important in your life, and it's not just what you do, but when you do it. The success of your day is actually found in your scheduling of that day.
We think that timing is an art, but really it's a science. Specifically, Daniel Pink talks about how there is a peak, trough, and recovery phase. And this is more of the internal and both our emotionals and hormonal wise that's going on. So he's saying that during the beginning of the day, when you have your peak of energy, to do the things that are more involving your brain activity, and then during that lunchtime happens to be the time that we have a dip in energy. So do more of your routine things that you don't need as much brain power, and then later on in the day you will have that recovery again where you start to incline in your brain power and mood. So we encourage you to look at this and make the decisions based on the timing of the day.
Breaks are also extremely important. To give your mind the ability to rest and then get ready for what's next in the day is often overlooked. Also too, understanding that beginnings or endpoints have a very, very psychological impact on the way that we approach what we're doing. It can help you kick harder at the end when you're getting ready to finish a task, or even midpoints when you realize that timing is coming up and that you really need to buckle down and get ready for what you've got to do.
The second book that will change your life is The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. One of the key things that we receive from this book is the idea of the cue, craving, and reward, and really understanding what habits are. Once you realize the basics of what they are, it'll be easier for you to recognize them so you can either change or increase the habits that you already have.
The second major point that we pulled from this is the golden rule of habit change. And that's that you can't actually change a bad habit. You actually have to replace it with a good one. So what happens is the cue and the reward stay the same, but you swap out what your routine is. So you're simply creating the same impact that your brain is receiving when enjoying a bad habit, but you're just replacing it with a good habit. Then that way it's simply overriding the default behavior that's been so hard for you to change.
So we want to encourage you guys to make sure to take a look at these habits and understand that they really do rule our lives. But you can understand that you can take advantage of them both in your personal and your business life.
The third book that we think that can help change your life is the 5 a.m. Club. Own your morning, elevate your life. Really focusing on the things that you want to achieve. You need to start and you need to do them at a time when no one else is getting anything done. You start your day well and you set up the rest of your week for a great success. It starts in those small bits in the early mornings, and it can have a great gradual effect over time.
Next, we want to talk about the 4 internal empires. That's heart set, health set, soul set, and mindset. And the idea of this is that there's these 4 revolving doors that really control our lives, and he talks about intentionally spending time in each of these. It doesn't even have to be necessarily a lot of time, but spending time focusing on your health, spending time focusing on where your mind's at, spending time where your heart, your relationships, and then just really looking internally and figuring out where your soul's at and what you want to achieve. So the basis is based on figuring out who you are, what you want, and how you want to get there.
Which leads us to the 20-20-20 rule. This is really the nuts and the bolts on how you're going to attack your morning. The first 20 minutes when you wake up early are going to spend on exercise. This is to get your blood flowing. This is to wake up your body, increase all the important hormonal levels of getting ready for your day, and that's going to help you take that momentum into the next 20 minutes, which is going to be learning. After you've engaged your body, now engage your brain. Now spend 20 minutes learning something that's new, that's important, something that you're working on, just something that'll make you better. And then lastly, the 20 minutes is spent on meditation. Is taking the time to focus on who you are, focus internally, quieting yourself, and then that way you're going to be more peaceful and going to be more introspective about what you want and what you want to achieve.
The fourth book that would change your life is The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. It's a very short read, a little over 100 pages, but it has a lot of great content and a lot of good nuggets we got from it. The main one being the 7 laws of building wealth. The first law has to do with putting your money away. And the idea is everything you earn, it wants you to save the first 10% of it for yourself, for the future. And then the second law talks about controlling your expenses. And these are 2 great laws, and we think definitely apply today. And it's just wonderful to see a book that was written so long ago talk about them.
The next 3 is make your gold multiply. Not just letting it sit somewhere, but actually finding active investments that's going to actually grow your money. Then it moves into guard your money from loss. Really try and choose your investments wisely and try and not have it so accessible to risk that you potentially could lose everything very quickly. Then he talks about make your house an investment. Owning a home and living in it is a great way to be able to do 2 things at once, where you can actually have a very, very safe but profitable way to keep your money and have a safe place to live.
The 6th law is to ensure a future income. And what this is talking about is referring to a retirement plan, but basically just having money set aside, whether it's investments in real estate, your home, the stock market, what have you, but just the idea that when you do get older and don't have the same capabilities and ability to earn the income that you were as you were going through life, it wants you to be prepared. And then also have money set aside for your family to be able to take care of them. Then the 7th law of building wealth talks about your ability to earn more income and to learn more. And his idea is just talking about always getting better and learning more so you can have the ability so that when the opportunity presents itself, you'll be ready.
The 5th and final book, definitely not the least book, is Atomic Habits. This whole book is really focusing on how small changes have fantastic results. James Clear talks about getting 1% better every day. It seems very insignificant, but it's exponential. It stacks. Over time, in the course of a year, 1% better every day would be 37 times greater than when you started. Just think 37 times greater in any aspect of your life and what you could achieve with that.
Next, James Clear talks about the plateau of latent potential. And what this is a graph of basically saying you keep putting in time, effort, and energy into the same thing, but you don't see the results until a while after. And the example I want to use today is actually referring to an ice cube. And if the ice cube is in a room that is 25 degrees, it doesn't make any change. And then it goes up to 26 degrees, 27 degrees, 28 degrees, and it's still, you don't notice any difference in the ice cube, not until it does get to 32 and 33 degrees where it starts to melt. And the idea of this, it correlates to our life because oftentimes there are things that are changing. You know, that 1%, it's changing little bit by little bit, but you don't see the result until it gets over that, hits the plateau of the latent potential. So we want to use this to encourage you, and James Clear does a great job of explaining it, but the idea that keep working towards the thing that you know are right and keep working hard because you will end up seeing the results.
And then that brings us to James Clear's point of fall in love with the process, not the result. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. It's not about just what you want to achieve, it's what you're doing to actually achieve those things. And one of the best ways that happens is identity-based habits. The direction of change matters. It's not just how hard you try, but rather it's who you wish to become to achieve those results. It's about what you're doing along the way and who you're trying to end up being, to where who you are is going to be the person that does those habits. Thanks everyone for joining us today and taking a look at 5 books that really advanced and helped mine and Ryan's life. We hope that you got a little bit of wisdom from these and enlightened your life just a little bit more.
We appreciate the time that you guys are spending to watch these videos, but then also really, I hope you guys read these books. Even if you just skim over them. These are powerful things, and we are working hard trying to figure out what best ways to serve you guys and teach you. So not just that, we want to hear what you guys have to say because we're interested in how you learn best, and then also what things you're learning, and that way we can grow as well. So leave comments below, and we're excited to hear from you guys, and we will see you and talk to you soon.